Welcome back to the How to Script in Valheim course. In the previous episode, we learned about using filters to identify specific monsters or game objects. In today's episode, we're going to start learning about communicating with players. As you see, we made something very basic here, where whenever we go near a goblin, it says, hello, hello, right? Before we get into the RPC calls and the different ways of communication, let's talk about just the basics of why it's important to telegraph stuff to the player. If I just scroll up in this prefab script, we have some entries, right? So let's take a look at these, and then we'll use this as an example of what I'm talking about. So here we have a script that changes the biobomb. I've got some biobombs here, and let's throw one. There we go, we got a boom, and then some booms, and then some more booms, and another boom, and a big boom. It's a little bit more than a normal biobomb. But how would a player know about this? And in this case, alright, yeah, at some point they're gonna get a biobomb and they're gonna throw it, okay? But if you think about it, you've actually lost a lot of the benefit of the mechanic by that point. Because one of the more beneficial parts of mechanics is the players looking forward to something and thinking about it and trying to do it. So while it is true that you could just have them find out the biobomb is more by blowing one up, it probably wouldn't be as effective as some system that showed them that really early on to put it in their heads. I call it telegraphing to the player. That's probably not the right term. But essentially, every mechanic you make needs a component that communicates itself to the player. This biobomb is so self-evident that it's not the best example. So let me get to a better example. In Enigma Mode, you can use a Diverger blacksmith to create incredibly powerful gear. How do you do it? Tell me. Unless you play Enigma, you don't know these things, right? So you can't just assume a player will know something, even if you give them a lot of stuff to read. In general, 90% of people are going to read 1% of what you put out there. So don't rely on text. Trust me. With that being said, how does a player learn how to summon a blacksmith? Well, keep in mind that players are playing Valheim. So there's thousands of actions the player is going to take in their normal experience. For example, you can rely on the player jumping, right? They're definitely going to jump. So you could use jumping to make something happen, and the player would find it, right? And you can do the same thing with building pieces. Players are definitely going to build a workbench, so when they do, you can react. In the same way, players are going to build a forge. So if we build a forge, look what happens. We get a message that says type say blacksmith to learn more. But it's really quick. You probably already missed it. So maybe we just noticed that and now we're confused. You know, it's not necessarily perfect, but every time you make one of these, you get one of those messages. So eventually the player realizes they can type, say, blacksmith, ? And then they get something that describes the mechanic, okay? I don't like relying on text. That being said, in-game text is the most effective way, especially when the player can choose to have it presented to them. It's basically the only situation where you can rely on them to read it. If you just put text in front of people without their solicitation, then they're just going to ignore it. So always keep that in mind. It kind of creates a catch-22, where for more complex mechanics, it's really almost impossible to explain them to players because the players simply won't pay that much attention to learn all the nuances of the mechanics. So here's where I'd like to get at another angle of this whole communicating with players thing. What I've found is that the act of the players learning new mechanics actually becomes an important part of their own individual progression. You can kind of think of it as their skill in this unique world. And the more mechanics unique to your experience or world there are, then the deeper this experience becomes. Enigma is a good example of that because Enigma has over 7,000 prefab entries, so there's so many changes that players play it completely differently and use different mechanics. Some players always use a certain mechanic that other players play for 100 hours and never even learn about. And they both have a good time playing in completely different ways. That's kind of what EWP allows you to do. It really allows you to lean into Valheim's flexibility and put a lot of power in the hands of the players. Don't try and explain the mechanic in full. All you need to do is get them aware that something happens, and then if they're curious about it, they'll try it and it'll kind of unfold and then they'll learn how to do it, right? You don't have to give them a whole bunch of information. The only reason I have things like this in Enigma is because there's so many changes. It's genuinely useful for people to have a little database where they can learn about stuff, right? But personally, that's not how I play. I just kind of play and random stuff happens and I roll with it. I don't really remember all of the mechanics and the best ways to do something, but some players love playing that way, you know? They want to get the strongest damage and they figure out in Enigma what are the most powerful weapons and armor you can get and what's the fastest way to get them. And that's cool, you know? I respect all of the other ways that people play the game. Me personally, I'm just kind of, you know, I am playing the game right now. You know what I mean? For me, like making content, playing the game, sometimes playing normally, other times teaching, that is playing Valheim. That's one of the things that has showed me that it can be so useful. So this is all stuff that you have to keep in mind when you're communicating with your players. But I've talked a lot about theory in this video, so I won't keep it too long. Now we're gonna get into the next topic. We will get into the depths of using those RPC damage text messages that you see with the goblins. Specifically, we'll be working with all of the different colors and formats of these messages that you see there. So I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to support this series. Bye-bye!